We are moving into side lying now. Depending on how long your band is, will depend on the positioning for the next exercise. In fact, I'm going to show you the stirrup loop, because if your band isn't as long as mine, you will need the stirrup loop. We are tying a double knot in your band to create a long tail and a little loop like so. Pop that loop around your foot, and then we will lie down on your side. You can just let go of that for a moment, because you will need your cushion between your head and your upper arm. Let's have the underneath leg bent. This one is also bent for now, and you need to take a bit of a stretch on your band and secure it on your top hip. Okay, secure it on your top hip. Then we will lift that leg up to hip height. There is a bit of a bend, as you can see. If you melt down through your top shoulder, we will reach that leg long, reaching through your heel, and then draw it up again. Reaching long and drawing up again to match the other one. This is working in all sorts of places you might be able to feel, but it is working on the muscles at the sides of your hips, which are major players in your left-right stability in the saddle. Right, let's have a little moment there. Now you've felt the exercise, you might want to shorten the band so it's a bit more of an effort. It's also helpful here, I'm just going to show you this, if you can keep a tiny bit of space between your underneath ribs and the mat, just to activate through the waist a little bit. So that sends your top hip away from, can you see that? Sends your top hip away from your rib cage. Here we go again. I'm going to secure that band a little bit shorter, and then reach into that band as if it is a stirrup. You're keeping the length in the top waist, the top shoulder sliding down. Good. Really pressing through that heel to create max reach through. We can treat this band a little bit like a horse that might be trying to send us over to a side that we don't want to go. So we're going to be quite determined, saying, no, I'm going to keep my length in my stirrup. We're going to hold it there and then draw some circles. Let's go for 5 each way, keeping the length through your leg, keeping the length through your top waist. You may be starting to feel this work at the side of your hip. You can draw your circles the other way if you've done all 5. Aiming to keep everything else as still as possible. Your tummy button pointing forward, everything else super still. Good. And then we will lower. Oh, that might want a bit of a massage. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So if we come up, we will remove your foot from your stirrup and loop it around the other one. Lower leg bend, underneath leg bend. We just need to get our cushion organised between your head and your upper arm. And then if you can secure your band on your hip, we've got our leg floating in parallel, top shoulder down, a little bit of lift through the lower waist as we press and reach, aiming to keep the leg working in a parallel position. So the knee is facing forward, the foot and ankle are facing forward. That's it, making sure you're breathing. Good, really reaching through into that stirrup. Okay, So we can shorten it now if you would like. So we've got a bit more, let's just extricate that. So we've got a bit more challenge. Remember, we want that top hip reaching away. Here we go. Keep that length in the top waist, the top hip. Activating the sides of the body. That's it, making sure you're breathing. And then when you're ready, let's go for your circles. So smooth and steady. And you might start to be aware of the work going on in the sides of your hips. When you've done your 5, let's change direction. So you can get a little bit more reach through the top hip and the leg. And then we will rest. Woo. Little rub. Good, good. Okay, now you can actually keep your little stirrup around your foot, because we're going to do a similar exercise but in a different position. And this position will be in all fours. So if you, there we go. So you can pin your, just tuck that in. You can pin your band either under a flat hand, or you can make a little fist and come onto your fists if that is more comfortable for you. Make sure you've got enough room behind you to extend your leg, and then bringing both shoulders down a fraction, creating a fairly flat outline with your back and a long neck. Let's reach back with that leg, aiming to keep everything else very, very still. Good. Super still. Then take a moment. You can just come onto your heels. You might want to give your wrists a bit of a wiggle, a bit of a roll, a bit of a shake. And then, because we don't have to keep swapping that stirrup over, we're going to continue the work on that leg, but give a bit more of a challenge here. So just a touch of stretch on there. Here we go. We're going to reach the leg back, but to hip height this time. So you can bring the leg in and then reach back, pressing through your heel. Now the more you press through your heel and take that leg back, the more we need to just secure with ab support, just to keep everything still really. Just to keep everything still. Last one, pressing back, good. Last one for now anyway. Let's come and give those wrists a wiggle. You can give them a bit of a flop around, a bit of a shake. And then last little challenge in this position is going to be doing the same thing, but we're going to reach the opposite arm forward at the same time. So pressing that leg back and reaching forward with your opposite arm. Go thumb leading. That's it. So imagine you're reaching into that stirrup. Good. Last one. Just hold that for a mo. Make sure you're breathing. Creating a good diagonal strong connection through your body, and then return. Excellent. Now you can go for a bit of a wrist wiggle, or you can move into a prayer position for a second, resting your forehead on the mat if it comfortably touches. If it doesn't, just make a bit of a pad with your hands or a stack of fists just to support your forehead. And breathe. Okay, Let's do the other side. Restacking, we need to remove our stirrup and place it around your other foot. Doodly-doo. Come here, foot. Oh, that wasn't very successful, was it? Right, that's better. We're sorted. Sorted. Okay, I might just turn around actually, and then you can see it from, I'm not hiding it. Okay, right, so to start with, we just take that leg back along the floor. That's it, making sure that your hands are roughly underneath your shoulders and your knee is roughly underneath your hip, keeping everything else very, very still. Your tummy button should be kind of very steady. If it's pointing in all sorts of different directions, then we're probably wobbling a bit. If it's just staying really still in space, that's quite helpful. Okay? Take a moment, your wrists a wiggle, and then let's go again. If you want to take a bit more resistance on your band, you can. If you want to keep it the same, that's also fine. So we're going to go to hip height now. So reaching back and then reaching up. Keep that length, that reach into your stirrup band. Good. Check into what your tummy button is doing. Is it staying still or is it dancing about all over the place? Just 5 of these, folks. Just 5. Okay, and then take a moment. Little wiggle. And then we're going to go for the final layer, which is the arm reach. This starts to bring in our diagonal patterns, which are helpful for our riding. We do a lot of things that require diagonal connection, as of course do our horses. Right, are you ready? So you're going to reach back and then take that arm forward, thumb leading. Remember, it's opposite arm, folks. If you try and do it on the same side, that will be highly impressive, but much, much harder to do in balance. Okay, so opposite sides. Keep everything steady. Okay, the last one. We're going to hold, keep reaching, fingertips away from heel, heel away from fingertips, and then with control, lower. If you want to do wrist things, you can. If you want to go into a prayer, we can take that down. Remember, forehead needs support, so you can either go stack of hands or stack of fists. Breathing full and wide into the sides of your body. Feel the breath make its way down to your waist, your lower back, your pelvis and your pelvic floor. Breathing into the space between your 2 seat bones. When you're ready, let's restack. And we're moving into a seated position now. If you would like to, we can take the band away now, actually we don't need that. If you are comfortable